Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to make our Gameday Chili Frito pies. Absolutely delicious. If you've never tried this before, you got to give it a go. I have 2 pounds of ground beef. We have some beef base, some minced garlic, our Chug Water Chili. You can use whatever chili seasoning you prefer, but this is my absolute favorite. And then we have just red chili powder, hot. You can go medium if you prefer, but we like to use hot in this house. And an onion, diced. Fritos. And just simple pinto beans. And tomato sauce. About 1 can, 15 ounces or so. So to get this started, we are going to heat our pan medium-high and add a neutral oil. I think I've mentioned on several videos that I tend to use our grapeseed oil. It just doesn't add anything to the flavor. It's just a neutral oil, has a high smoke point, and is not unhealthy or inflammatory like a lot of seed oils. And so let's go in with our 1 diced onion and sweat these down. We want to get the water sweated out of them to reduce the acidity and increase the sweetness of the onion. And after a few minutes, we're going to add our minced garlic until aromatic, which can take anywhere from 1 to 2 minutes. Then we're going to add our beef. And what we want to do here is start to break it up. And we don't want large chunks of beef in our final result. And ultimately what we want to do here is to incorporate all of the onion and garlic into the beef. And so we'll stir this around as it's breaking up and try to get all of that delicious flavor we've built from the onions and the garlic into the meat. We'll season with some salt and pepper, and we'll continue to cook down. So what we're doing here is we're not making a traditional chili that is going to have a million ingredients and tomatoes and all these things. We're making a chili base that's going to be used for our Frito pies. And so toward the end of this video, we'll have, cheese and onions and lettuce and things that we can put in, but this is our base. So once you start to see the water coming out of the meat, and it'll start to essentially boil the meat, we want to keep cooking this down, stirring it around. You don't want to let it sit for too long. And eventually you'll start to see the water that has come out of the beef evaporate. And this is what we want. We want to see it completely evaporate so that we can render the fat that's in the beef to build flavor in the dish. So now we're going to go in with our beef base, stir this around, get it well mixed up and incorporated. And you should hear more of a singe rather than a boil on the beef at this point, which is what we want. Going with our Chug Water Chili mix and our red chili powder. Mix this up. Make sure we try to incorporate it as much as possible and get it completely covered on the beef. And you'll turn this red color, deep red color, before the tomato sauce goes in. 1 can and then 1 can of water afterwards. So we'll fill that can up with water, get some of the remaining bits off the can, and pour that in here once we do a initial mix up. And once water goes in, we just want to stir this up, mix everything around, get this going so that we can essentially simmer it for about 20 minutes to 30 minutes. And what we want to do is reduce the water down so that it thickens up, and at which point we'll add our pinto beans, 2 cans of pinto beans, in the juices, so it'll actually add more liquid back into it, but we still want to thicken it up first. We don't want it, and this helps to really build the flavor as well. So you're thickening it up, you're reducing, you're building flavor. Then when it's ready, we'll add our pinto beans in the juices. And these are going to really bring everything together. You stir this around and you'll see it just kind of comes alive, and we're about done with our chili base. We just want to get this warmed up. And here we go. Here's our base, and it is full of flavor and is ready to use. So let's plate up our Frito pie and see how we did. Start off with a little bit of cheese. Now you can add whatever sides you prefer to this. Some people do, green onions or sour cream. We like to keep it simple, just some onions, some cheese, a little lettuce and tomato if you prefer. And then ultimately, we're gonna top that off with our Fritos. And I've seen some people that'll put Fritos first and then the chili, so you have a nice layer of Fritos on the bottom, which is another great way to do it, but I'll generally just add them last. Mix things up and get all of those flavors mixed together so that we can have the perfect bite. A little bit of crunch, a little bit of sweetness from the tomato, the freshness from the lettuce, that absolute amazing beef-based flavor of the chili. This is one of the best, guys. Leave a comment if you liked it. Thanks for watching.